It's Geoff from the library. I'm going to introduce our first craft packet for fall, and it is a pine cone fairy. This craft is for preschool and up, as well as elementary school, really anybody. You can pick up the packet from the lower floor desk of the library. Inside this packet, we have a supplemental slip that has book recommendations and a song and a poem, a piece of felt, a pine cone, a piece of nylon stocking, an acorn cap, some polyfill, and some yarn. From home, you will need some glue, some scissors, a marker, and then something like a craft stick or a paintbrush, and that's to poke the wings into the grooves of the pine cone so they'll stick in the glue. The early learning tip is to make time for imaginative play. Life can get busy, but it's important to ensure that your children have time to think and maybe explore outside, be in nature. It's very calming, and then pursue their own interests and ideas. Okay, so to make this fairy craft, we're going to work on the head first. We're going to need a piece of the nylon stocking. I'm going to cut this tube so it's flat. And then we're going to put the polyfill in, wrap it around, and use a piece of your yarn to tie it off. And then you can make a double knot or have a grown-up do a double knot for you. And that's going to be the basis of our head. Then you can trim the excess. So you've got a little head like this. For the hair, we're going to take our yarn, wrap it around your fingers so you've got something like this, and then we're going to glue it on the knobby part, so that'll kind of hide the knobby part. Yeah, let's put some glue on there, and then once that's dried, you can use your scissors to snip the loops, and that will give you some hair. You could also just glue it on piece by piece. You could braid some yarn and make them have a braid, however you want to do it. Now that we've got our little head, you can use your marker and you can draw an eyes, a nose if you want, and a mouth. And there's the fairy's head. Now to glue the fairy's head onto the pine cone, you might need to break some of the top parts so you've got a flat surface. And then you put some glue onto that flat surface. And put your head on there. And you might have to wait a bit for it to dry. The last thing for the head is we've got a little acorn cap, and that's going to be the fairy's hat. So we're going to put some glue onto the acorn cap. And place that on top of the head. And then next we'll work on the wings. So next we'll work on the fairy wings. You can make any shape of wings you like. You could do butterfly wings or anything you can think of. And you take your piece of felt, fold it in half, and then cut out some wing shapes. If you make smaller wings, you could go for a walk and get another pine cone and acorn cap and maybe make another one. Mine is a heart, and I just cut it down the middle. And I've got 2 wings. And then we're going to take our pine cone and in the back of the pine cone, we're going to stick some glue in there. And put a wing in. If your pine cone is tight, then that's when you can use your end of your paintbrush or some stick and really kind of shove it in there into the glue. And then your other one. And put it in, and again you're going to have to wait for it to dry before you use it a lot. And then there is your fairy almost ready to play. So I've got some book recommendations about fairies. This is in our Spanish section. It is Verdad, vista by Cori Doerrfeld. So this character is Cici. She's a little fairy, and she has this is a graphic novel. The pictures in it are really nice. She has to learn about making friends. She takes someone's doll, and it's about growing up and learning different things. That's my first recommendation. Then, of course, I had to have the Flower Fairies book, Flower Fairies by Cecily Mary Barker. And each flower has a different fairy, and the illustrations are real pretty. And the fairies really match the flower. And she goes and has a different one, and then a different little saying about each one. It's very pretty. I've got probably my favorite, Backyard Fairies by Phoebe Wall. Phoebe is a local artist. I believe she lives around Olympia. This is just beautiful images. These are her paintings, and this is about a little girl that keeps trying to look for fairies, and she keeps missing them, and then in the end they make her a fairy crown while she's sleeping. So I don't think she ever does see them, but she's using her imagination and she knows that they're there. This is an old one, Come to the Fairies Ball by Jane Yolen. This is a little bit like a Cinderella retelling, but they're fairies. Kind of neat pictures. They all get the invitation, but her dress is all torn, so she can't go. Very imaginative illustrations. And then she meets the prince at the ball. That's a real cool picture. And then lastly, I've got Interstellar Cinderella by Deborah Underwood. And this is kind of a STEM Cinderella. Her fairy godmother is a robot, and she's very similar. She's got ugly stepsisters, and she's not allowed to go to the ball. This is very creative, and I like that the Cinderella character in it is an engineer and can fix spaceships. I've got one song and one poem. So I'll do the poem first. It's called Autumn. Yellow the bracken, golden the sheaves, rosy the apples, crimson the leaves. Mist on the hillside, clouds gray and white. Autumn, good morning. Summer, good night. And that is anonymous. And then for the song, we've got Little Bunny Foo-Foo. So get out your bunnies. Little bunny foo-foo, hopping through the forest, picking up the field mice and bopping them on the head. Down came the good fairy, and she said, little bunny foo-foo, I don't like your attitude, picking up the field mice and bopping them on the head. I'll give you 3 chances, and if you blow it, I'll turn you into a goon. So, little bunny foo-foo. So basically, bunny foo-foo keeps on doing it, and the fairy keeps coming him down and giving him less chances. And then at the end, she gave him all the chances, and she says, I gave you 3 chances, and you blew it. So I'm going to turn you into a goon. Shh. And the moral of the story is, hare today, goon tomorrow. Well, I hope you have fun playing with your pinecone fairy. I hope you come visit us at the library. We have story times going on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 10:30. We've got Read with the Ranger going on the 3rd Saturdays of the month at 11 a.m. Come check it out. They're always very fun, very interactive. She brings lots of fun things for kids to touch, like animal pelts and skulls. So we hope we see you then. And please pick up your craft packet at the lower floor desk of the library. Bye.
Bye.